Hello. What day is it?
What's up? What's up?
It's July 24th. Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about a very uplifting topic today.
Oh, okay.
Get ready to sing a song and dance. It is Somewhere Someone is Dying. Somewhere Someone's Dying.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Let's hop right into it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Epictetus
Aren't we
says...
all? I would say that. Like, aren't we all, really?
Sure, I mean, he's probably referencing, like, that moment.
The moment of the transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Epictetus is going to kick us off today. He says, whenever disturbing news is delivered to you, bear in mind that no news can ever be relevant to your reasoned choice. Can anyone break news to you that your assumptions or desires are wrong? No way. But they can tell you someone died. Even so, what is that to you? Okay. What? Whenever disturbing news is delivered to you, bear in mind that no news can ever be relevant to your reasoned choice. Okay, so let's put this into context. When he's saying, like, whenever disturbing news is delivered to you, I'm imagining now, like,
Someone died or something.
my aunt calling me to tell me that my mom just passed away. Okay, so she calls me, she tells me that my mom is dead, and then he says, bear in mind that no news can ever be relevant to your reasoned choice. So, like, it shouldn't dictate how I behave.
Mm-hmm. How you behave.
It shouldn't make me do things differently. I shouldn't get into a panic.
It shouldn't take you off of the balance. Yeah, because no news or no new information, aka news, right? No new information should have the power to take us out of balance.
Okay, I get it. Can anyone...
No, does it? Sure, yeah, all over the place, all the time, every day, to all
Well,
of us.
of course,
but,
yeah.
But in theory, it doesn't have. We give the power to it. The way how we then take it and spin our energy on it. So we give them the energy. We give that power to it. But it coming here. It doesn't have that power.
Yeah, like there's ingrained reactions to things and events in the world, and it's easy to say, well, my reaction is because the thing in the world, but really, like, that's me just giving away my power in that moment, because I'm saying this thing that I have control over, my reactions, I don't have control of it because the world is so crazy.
Yeah, and you and then the rest of us look at you and we say, yeah, that's justified. That's justifiable reaction because life is so hard and we all go through hard things.
And I wouldn't do better in this situation. I wouldn't do any
better, and so we have to cut each other slack, and that's fine. That's what's supposed to happen. Yes, but we also need to notice that there was an option to have a different reaction. You know. And I'm not saying one reaction is better than the other from my point of view, but from internally, we later then know, like I didn't want to react the way I reacted. But then we say, but I didn't have a choice because this happened. But that's what I'm saying we need to acknowledge. There was a choice. We just maybe didn't have access to it, or we chose this way because it was just too fast moving, or whatever the thing is, it's okay. But acknowledging that there were options is important, because next time maybe we'll notice that there are more options while it's happening, and now we can maybe choose something else, right? And so it's all about keep trying and keep testing it, kind of testing ourselves to notice those things.
So I don't know if the second part of the quote is how meaningful it is, but I don't get it either. He says, can anyone break news to you that your assumptions or desires are wrong? No way. That's what he says. No way. So he's saying no one can break news to you that your assumptions or desires are wrong. Like, assumptions means like the way that I think the world works. And my desires are the things that I want.
And so, or don't want.
Yeah.
Want to happen or don't want to happen. Yeah.
And so he's saying no one can break news to you that your assumptions or desires are wrong. I mean, if he's just saying like there's a separation there again, like the way he's saying in the first thing, like there's a separation between the thing that happens in the world and my reaction to it, or like my internal ecosystem that has assumptions and desires and systematic programming. Like, yeah, I get that that is separate from whatever news might be traveling to me. So I get him then maybe saying no way, but I don't know. It's hard for me to like really grasp this one.
It's a little flipped on its head. But let's see if Ryan was able to get anything out of this, and then maybe we can get some more insight.
Sounds good. Ryan says, a well-meaning friend might ask you today, what do you think about insert tragedy from the other side of the world? You, in your equally well-meaning concern, might say, I feel just awful about it. In this scenario, both of you have put aside your reasoned choice without doing a single thing for the victim suffering from the actual tragedy. It can be so easy to get distracted by, even consumed by, horrible news from all over the world. The proper response of the Stoic to these events is not to not care, but mindless, meaningless sympathy does very little either, and comes at the cost of one's own serenity in most cases. If there is something you can actually do to help these suffering people, then yes, the disturbing news and your reaction to it has relevance to your reasoned choice. If emoting is the end of your participation, then you ought to get back to your own individual duty, to yourself, to your family, and to your country.
Did that do anything? Did that clear anything up?
It's making me want to see, I'm just like looking through, there's kind of like a glossary in the back of like reasoned choice. This just keeps coming up and I don't have like, I have an understanding of it that feels like hazy and like in a general direction, but it doesn't feel crisp. So maybe I just need to like talk to ChatGPT about it for a while and then we can follow up on it. But yeah, as I'm reading this, you know, like what comes to mind is like, I have a few friends where when I get into a conversation with them, it seems like it very quickly turns into things out in the world that are very problematic. And there's this, you know, like they would ask me these types of questions, like, how do you feel about that? Like almost, but it doesn't feel like an open-ended question. It doesn't feel like any answer that I might give would be satisfactory. It feels like they want me to lean in the direction of outrage.
And maybe outrage to... So then they perhaps can be kind of involved with helping you to go through that outrage by answering something, you know what I mean? That
I don't think so. I think they're outraged and they just want me to be outraged with them.
I see, like a misery.
And there's like this moral righteousness to it that like, well, you should be outraged by this because this is wrong. this is a wrong thing out in the world, and if you are not outraged by this, you're a bad person, you're not paying attention. Like, they would almost think that it is, we're talking about duty this month in July. They would almost think that this is part of their duty, is to like stay informed about all the terrible shit that's going on and like dedicate a large portion of mental space to like thinking about it and being pissed off about it. And it's like, it's interesting because like when we get into these conversations, like I sort of like can't fake the outrage because I just like,
you don't care.
I don't care, but then what is there though? It's like I'm sort of okay with the fact that I'm not outraged by it, but like I don't at the same time know how to navigate this conversation with this person I care about so that I don't look like an asshole. Because I guess I'm nervous, and this is my shit to get over, is like I'm nervous that by not being outraged by it, now I'm going to be perceived as an asshole who doesn't give a shit about these things, who's just concerned with their own selfish well-being at the expense of these, you know, these causes or things out in the world that need my attention desperately.
There's this tool, it's like a target. It's like the center and then further away, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, there's this thing of like what should we care about the most, as far as like what should we really be thinking about the most, is like ourselves is in the center, then our like loved ones and family, that's the next one, then friends,
is
right?
the third,
and then there's like coworkers, and it comes like going further, right? And then it's like, then it starts this a community, and then it, like then the world kind of a thing, right? But a lot of times we are down here with these friends or with these families. We're so close together with these people, and then someone over there all of a sudden starts saying, you all here need to start caring about this thing out here, right? And they're getting outraged that you say, well, I'm so disconnected from it. Yes, of course there are people hungry and dying all over the world for injustice, and being treated like not humans ultimately, right? And but I can keep thinking about this, and I cannot change anything because I can barely change the thing that is in the center of that target, which is me. Right.
Well, right, and
I can barely affect how I work, and so how can I now go affect my close people, my friends, my family, and then the world, right? Like sure, maybe they could potentially click something, and now it happens very fast, right? But I can help the world the best way by figuring out what the heck's going on in here.
Right.
That's how I can help everyone. Because if I am compassionate to myself, and if I am taking myself into consideration, not egoistically and selfishly, but from the standpoint of that I respect myself, and then I have to 100% respect everyone else, right? And now, if this is something that, if instead of spreading that outrage about those things out there that are happening, we could spread this more, and this could help those people the same exact way, or even maybe much better.
Right, because the person who goes to like a group dinner and says, well, we should all care about this thing out in the world, is at the same time abandoning those inner circles.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like that visual of the concentric circles, like the bullseye, because it definitely like helps clarify how much attention to spend in each place. It's like, maybe yes, care about the world, but like that should be like 10% of my energy.
Like what? Like it's maybe like the it's like the scale of who I need to help and who I should help. I need to first help myself.
Yeah.
It's the same thing of the mask versus the kids.
Literally, because like, if we all did that, everybody would have a sufficient amount of help.
Yes.
And everyone would be supported. And
there would be so much help that it's like we would not.
We would solve those world problems
right.
if we were all tunnel visioned in that regard. And it's actually the people who are fucking it up the most are the people who are so concerned about everything else out there and nothing in here.
Right. No, they're perfect in here. But you all are not very perfect.
Yay! Okay, thank you, my friend, for joining. Happy July 20 blah blah blah. And we will see you here tomorrow.